HeartMath really gives you the tools to give yourself the best chance to perform and achieve what you want to achieve in this game, whether you be a 20 handicapper, regular club pro, or if you're aspiring to be an elite level touring professional. I think the more tools you've got that you can use to help you perform at the ultimate level, the better. I just had my best ever score over 9 holes here at the course here, 4 under par. Previously it was 3 under par, and it could have even been better. You know, there was 1 or 2 putts I could have maybe made, but I just felt so good. And I haven't had that feeling for a long time, but it's something now that I can trigger that feeling. I can get to that state by using the techniques. The benefits of HeartMath are that it gives you definitely another string to your bow to sort of teach and train your students. And for me, what I've seen is for a lot of students that get stuck with certain shots where they break down under pressure, it gives them an opportunity to use some techniques which will allow them to get over that hurdle, start performing at a level that they know they think they're capable of, but up until now they've really struggled to achieve. I had a professional a little while ago came to see me, guy that plays on the Challenge Tour, so he's a decent golfer, really struggling with his pitching. And he was actually here where we are here today, and he'd hit about 10 pitch shots before he came to see me for a HeartMath session. And basically he told me that he only got 4 out of 10 on the green, which is pretty disastrous for a professional from about 25-30 yards away. We did a session for about an hour and a half where we took him through all the physiology and how it all works and what the basic concept is and the techniques that he might try to use. And we came back to the practice ground afterwards, 8 shots, first 2 shots he holes, and he just couldn't believe it, and then the other 6 balls are all dotted within 2 or 3 feet of the hole, and the look on his face was just a picture. He couldn't believe it could be so simple to just go from a transformation of being very, very nervous and edgy over a shot to all of a sudden feeling totally comfortable. Obviously technically you then have the skills to execute the shots, but controlling your emotional state whilst you're going round and round a golf when you may be having to deal with all sorts of various situations, maybe a stressful shot over water, a delayed tee shot that you've got to wait for ages, trying to make that all important putt. I think most players experience a feeling where they don't feel comfortable at some point or other. It's all about a state of mind and where you're at as you're walking in to play a certain type of shot. If you can achieve that optimal state, then your performance level is going to improve. It does work. I've seen it for myself in my own game. I've seen phenomenal improvement in different aspects of my game, and I've seen it in lots of students from golf pros all the way down to sort of high handicap golfers. Just before the course that we did, the training course that we did, I was really struggling with my putting. I felt quite edgy, quite nervy when I was putting, and having done the techniques, it literally was like that. It was like a light bulb moment. As soon as I went to neutral, brought in quick coherence, and I locked into a feeling, the stroke just transformed. It just went from being very bit sort of edgy and sort of all a bit jerky to as smooth could be, and it stayed with me ever since. For me, the game's very sort of departmentalized, as it were. I like to see things quite simply as like a think box area where you stand prior to hitting your shot, decision line that you cross as you walk in to play your shot, and you then enter a playing zone or a playing box. And for me, in that thinking box, that's where I like to introduce the HeartMath techniques and get people to focus on their heart focused breathing, use the neutral tool, then move into quick coherence, bringing in a nice positive emotion. And once they've got themselves into that state, then walking in and hitting the shot where they've got total flow to what they're doing. And I find tremendous success with that. When people have got that natural flow to their game, their golf just really significantly improves. So the M-Wave technology is fantastic. The original M-Wave was very useful. We used to hook it up to people as they're actually about to play shots. I could see their state as they were walking from the think box into the playing box, and then obviously through the execution of the stroke I could give them good feedback and let them know how they were doing. And obviously the pings that are on it as well are very useful. They can get their own sort of sense of achievement by hearing it pinging away as they're working their way through the various stages of the shot. I think the M-Wave 2 takes it to a completely new level. Very, very useful, the fact that now we can actually take those sessions that we do with somebody and then download it onto the laptop itself and capture all that information. Of course, then you build up like a data bank of training sessions, and you can see from session to session how somebody's actually improving, how they're spending longer periods of time in that high coherent state, which is, you know, the optimum thing that we're trying to achieve with them, get them into that better place to hit more and more consistent, excellent shot. So when I'm practicing my putting, I tend to hook myself up to the M-Wave 2, and this is going to give me some nice feedback whilst I'm moving through the various stages of putting the ball. I can have the sound on so I can hear the nice pings as I'm actually sort of going through my different stages, giving me the feedback that I'm in a good place. And basically I'm going to walk into the ball. I've done my neutral, I've got my breathing under control. I'm bringing in a nice positive feeling for me, which is, for me personally, is latching onto the feel of the ball striking the flag and going into the hole. Obviously that's on a putting green, but it tends to work for me, that feeling of the nice sort of ka-ching as the ball falls in the hole. And then I set myself up to the putt, and then as I'm about to initiate the stroke, I'm really latching into that feeling, and it just allows me to be so smooth, and there's the ka-ching, yeah, that we're looking for. Sleeping was a particular thing for me, never been a great sleeper, but I have to say, since using the techniques every night religiously, I'm sleeping like a baby. I'm sleeping for sort of 6, 7, 8 hours a night, which previously I was a sort of 3-hour a night man, 4 hours. So I've found some huge benefits personally, and I just feel better as well in myself, and I think it's just it creates a general feeling of well-being.